Alright, hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a couple months since I've done one of these, but somebody said that they missed these, and I don't know, I feel a little bit more okay doing these right now. First of all, there's a pickup for you right there. Everyone say hello to Spud. He's been here for about a month. He's adorable. He's precious. Okay, he's probably going to get a little more excited at some point. But he's there behind us, keeping an eye on everything. Alright, so I got some video game pickups. This is not everything that I've gotten over the past couple months, but that's because I wasn't really, keeping track every time that I got a game so that I could, make sure I go back and get it when I do a pickups video, because I wasn't intending on doing it, but let's do it again. Maybe I won't do them every month. Maybe it'll be more like this, like highlights, or maybe I'll just not do one every month. Maybe 2 or 3 months, something like that. Anyway, I really have a lot of one for each system. It's kind of funny. Let's start with Game Boy. We got The Mummy Returns for Game Boy Color, I should say. This doesn't save, you can tell. So yeah, Mummy stuff, anything. Like, I got the PS1 Mummy game. I found out that there was a Game Boy Advance Mummy game based on the cartoon. I've got Mummy Returns. There's a Game Boy Color game for the first Mummy as well. So I've got most of the console Mummy games and their handheld counterparts. But just one of those franchises that even if the stuff's not good, it doesn't have to be terrible. It doesn't mean that, but I like the movies so much that I will pick up video games for them, for whatever they are. And the Scorpion King. Don't forget that. I have that stuff too. So yeah, one Game Boy Color game. Let's stick with the handhelds. Got these are weird DS games. This is a puzzle game for the DS, which there are so many of, called Dropcast. This one's supposed to be pretty decent, and also I like the cover of it. It's got the holographic style to it. I think this also had a slipcover, but I didn't have the slipcover with it. Anyway, yeah, nothing crazy about that. It's got little fucked up stuffed animals on it. Whatever it is, I'll have to try it out, see if it grabs me. And one 3DS game. This is Combat Giants Dinosaurs 3D. I have several of these games from these series, like the Combat of Giants. And the main reason that I ended up picking this one up is because even though it's supposed to be kind of mediocre, this is no Fossil Fighters. People love those games, and there should be another one because the fan base for that is really intense. But with this, I was looking it up, and apparently, I think they just ported the Wii game, which I was a little bit interested in to see what they would do for a console version, and then found out that basically they made another release because this is just that game. I'm not 100% on that, but that's what I saw online when I was looking it up, and they paid $7 for it, so not bad, worth grabbing. I've got some jewel cases. We have a Dreamcast game here. We have Sega Rally 2. Now, I mean, this isn't Daytona USA, which is very tough to find for Dreamcast, even though it's so if we were talking Saturn, Daytona USA would be a staple, and I love Daytona USA in the arcades and everything. So Sega Rally is not full on rally, is my understanding. So that's why I was interested in picking it up. It's supposed to be pretty solid and not really intense rally racing like I've experienced many of on the 64, and know that it's not generally my style of racing. It's got to be more Top Gear Rally than Top Gear Rally 2, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, first party title. It's supposed to be good. Definitely good. Any first party Sega on the Dreamcast worth picking up, I think. We've got PS1, the first Hot Shots Golf. The first Hot Shots is a trip to go back to for sure. I never picked this up before because because of the reason that I picked it up now, basically, which is that instead of being made by Clap Hands, this was originally made by Camelot, who would go on to do all the Mario Golfs. So they basically got poached by doing this one golf game, and then Sony had somebody else start with Hot Shots Golf 2. So there's like a really big disconnect in like visual styles and other stuff like that from Hot Shots 1 to Hot Shots 2. And the other thing about going to Hot Shots 1 is that like just graphically and like presentation wise, like it is so like old early PlayStation. I think it only came out in 90. Let's say it actually says 98 on it. I would have said 97. But yeah, like a lot of the designs and the graphics and the presentation is like very like first like couple years PlayStation. So it's definitely interesting to go back. It is not just Mario Golf without the Mario characters, although it is like similar to that, but yeah, interesting little snapshot of something that would be very important to me in the next couple years for like video games, what type of video games are coming out, because I love Mario Golf, especially 64 one. I love that. I love Hot Shots. But yeah, the first one is so wildly different from everything else in the series. It's very funny to me. Then we have, I don't have a manual for this, which is the only bummer about it, but that's part of why I was able to pick this up for pretty cheap. It's Emperor's New Groove for the PS1. I definitely had this growing up, and I assume that because it's like a 2001 movie, it probably is a 2001 to 2002 game, that you don't see this one that much compared to, you know, the other Disney PS1 games, like, I don't know, Peter Pan, Little Mermaid 2, like, I don't think you see, like, any of those a ton, but I always feel like this is not one you come across that much. But that being said, it's a mostly 3D platformer, little collectathon action. There's some, I say it reminds me of like a Conquer or something like that, because there's so many like offshoots, like racing when you're the turtle, like, or I would even just say like a rare platformer in general, because you can transform into all these other different animals, not just Llama Cusco. Like on the back, you see you can turn into a rabbit. I know you can be the turtle. Like those, like, not the right transformation back into Cusco that he was at the end. There's chase sequences, I know that, so it's kind of all over the place. I remember it being fun, but I'll have to check it out and see how well it's aged. We've got Switch games, just 4 of them right now, with some pretty big ones here. First we got Broforce. We have a Devolver Digital published game. Broforce, I think I would have waited on this. I think it went to $20 for the pre-order on Amazon, so that's why I ended up getting this right away. And it's a Devolver Digital published, like, Contra style parody-ish game. Very testosterone, everything like that, but good run and gun stuff. We've got Apollo Justice Trilogy. So I actually have already played 2 of these, and I am halfway through the 3rd title. It's not usually you get a trilogy, and I'm just getting it for one is for the physical for sure, and then the other one, like, I've already played most of it, and of course now I'm going like so slow, that like my partner is waiting for me to finish this one so that she can go and start. Since I already had Apollo Justice 1 on DS, she already played that, so she's just waiting for me so that I can do. She can do Dual Destinies. I'm trying to finish Spirit of Justice so that I can hand it off to her. And we got another collection. This one of games I have not played, but a pretty big release, I would say, for lesser known Nintendo franchises. Another Code Recollection. So this has the DS game remade in the style of the, I think it was WiiWare, I think. Remade to match the style of the WiiWare one. So very different, but 2 really non-Nintendo style titles that definitely need a physical release and a wider audience. And then we have another one for the series that I keep intending to play and not going more than an hour into them. Fatal Frame, this is Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. So this was the Wii one, I believe, because Maiden of Blackwater was the Wii U one. So I think I have all of these games now. So I should just sit down and play any of them. I'm not even saying I should start from the beginning at this point. Like, I've played a little bit of the first one, and I've played a tiny bit of Spirit Camera. I should just play one of these ones that's been ported to the Switch, because I have this one and I have Maiden of Blackwater now. We have a Super Nintendo game of Pinball Dreams. This is a really nice, complete Pinball Dreams. So I'm glad that I put off getting this, even as just a cartridge, for a while, because I would never see it in person, and then every time I was online, like, wondering, because I would put this on my wish list in Game I have Pinball Fantasies, but I need that first one, which should be more common, and I should see it. And so people want like $17 for this cartridge on eBay usually, but then people want $25 to $30 for it complete. So I ended up getting this completed really, really nice for like, I think like $22 eventually, after I like made a best offer. So this is really nice, and it goes really nice with my Pinball Fantasies, which is complete, and I think it also covers me for all of the Super Nintendo pinball games, I want to say. And moving on to Full Auto 2 Battlelines. Full Auto is funny because the first one was a 360 exclusive, and then the second one is a PlayStation exclusive, but it's a Sega published game, so it doesn't like matter one way or the other. It's not like, I don't know, it's not like a small developer, a small publisher like signing. It's Sega. Always been weird to me, but so I had this on like PSP, but I wanted to get the PS3 version eventually because I wanted to make sure I got like the full version of it. The PSP one is not going to feel quite like that, and it's car combat, so it's very important to me to play like car combat. Make sure I cover all my bases on that genre. Yep. You're facing the nice people now. Okay. One PS5 game. This is Warhammer has been like absolutely pumping out these licenses for games lately. So now we have Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr, which I think originally came out on PS4, and now this is like this is the Ultimate Edition, and it's basically Diablo with Warhammer. So style, that's it, the Kotaku review quoted on here is literally says Warhammer 40k crossed with Diablo. So that sounds good to me. Let me give it a shot. We got Xbox One/X/whatever, Falconeer. It's kind of like if you had an air combat game, but it's you fly on big eagles like from Lord of the Rings. And it's published by Wired, who I like. So they published Arcade Paradise, for one thing, and a couple other things that I like. So I don't really know what else to say about that. I think it was like $6 or $7. I got that really cheap. And I was like, hey, it's from Wired. We've got a Wii game, Men in Black Alien Crisis, which looks like shovelware. Probably is to an extent, but it's a first-person like light gun type game. It actually is really funny because it's published by Activision, who have done a bunch of games compatible with their big like hunting gun. That's not. I think it's no, it is Cabela's. Yeah. So they advertise that not only is it Wii Zapper compatible on the front, but on the back here it says Top Shot. Where the hell that? Yeah, it's right in the corner there. Right there where it says it's Top Shot compatible for their Cabela's gun. We've got on PS2, we've got just an interesting one because it's one of From Software's back catalog games, Eternal Ring. Probably not going to be like super up my alley, but I paid around $10 for it, and I always think that any of their games, whether they're good or accessible, they are interesting, so a cool one on the shelf. And then lastly, it's not the 2-disc edition, but it's Mechassault 2, the original Xbox. Mechassault, staples of the original Xbox for sure. These are both just done really well. It's by Day One, I'm trying to remember what else they did. I know that they did that that one LucasArts game. Did they do Prototype? Is that what I'm thinking of? It might be Prototype. But day one, I know that they did Fracture, which is that one of those last games published by LucasArts. But yeah, Mechassault, both those games are really good. So glad to have the second one. And that's it. I might see you in a couple months. Keep checking out the website, please, ntndo64.com. I'm working really hard on that. I'm down to the last 20 or so games on the N64. I just did Hercules, which is a fucking not good, as you might imagine. But I'm like getting all excited because I'm playing Banjo-Tooie and things we still have on the up on the calendar coming up. We have Pokemon Stadium 2, we have Conquer, we have Paper Mario, we have Indiana Jones, which I've been very, very interested in, with Spider-Man. Like, it's crazy some of the stuff that is in these last 20 games, because it was like either like make these last couple cheap games like fucking Hercules and Blues Brothers 2000, and if we're not talking about Titus anymore, we're talking about like Powerpuff Girls. I don't want to judge too harshly one way or the other because I never played it, but Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers is one of them. Aiden Chronicles, which is not, I want to say cheap, but it's not good. And then, yeah, you have all that Nintendo staples, rare games, like, it's really, really good stuff and really, really bad stuff. And then, yeah, once I've played those, I've got the reviews for those last games that I'm doing as I play them. There's a lot of backlog. There's a lot of stuff I've already written that I haven't posted. But then there's also stuff that I just need to go back. I need to get screenshots. I need to get reviews, refresh my memory on them, and do it. But it's really exciting to have all this. Please go check out the website, ntndo64.com. Alright, so I'll see you. Thanks for watching. Alright, bye-bye.